Let me check.
You're on the web server.
Say something in your mic.
This is cool.
Something in my mic.
Can you hear it?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. You girls, Erica, you talk first. Say something.
I'm Erica.
I can't hear you very well.
Oh, am I not talking loud enough?
What's that?
That might be.
No, it's not that. Brad, I unmuted the mics. I thought. I can't hear them.
It might be broadcasting.
Well, it don't matter. We gotta get their mics checked. They gotta be able to hear us, whether we're broadcasting or not. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind putting your phones on vibrate, girls.
I put mine on silent.
Oh, I don't even know where mine's at.
My headphones.
Brad,
are a
can
little
you get us
staticky.
working? They need to be able to hear themselves. They need to know what they're doing.
Do they have headphones?
I hear nothing.
It's because it's all muted.
The red, that's mute, right? Do you have the whole system muted?
Well, I have it muted going to the computer.
There's no volume coming out. Anything. Nothing.
You can't hear us?
Pardon me?
You can't hear us?
No. Can you hear each other?
I can hear Erica.
Yeah, and we can hear you.
But my
Okay, so
headphone
Brad, mine
has a
isn't
bit of
working. You
static
have
to
my
it.
Yeah, my
monitor
head.
turned off.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm in one, Brad.
I don't know what's this one. I know what was that.
Hello. Hello. I'm getting nothing.
It's gonna go. Okay.
They can hear each other. I can't hear anything.
I'm just gonna set that down right there.
Oh, hold on.
Sit up like this.
It's not your fault. Come unplug.
Do you have a flashlight down here?
I do not. Check 1, 2. Yeah, I know I don't need to be. Do you see that, Thessalon? Do you see that first slider right there? Pull that down, down, down. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Say something, Erica.
Something?
Awesome.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, say something again for me.
Hello.
Okay, get a little closer to it. Okay, just a little, not too much. Okay.
Better.
Now say something.
Better.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Good.
I definitely
Okay,
think the phones.
so we're going to get started here in about 3 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
This is so exciting.
Do you girls need anything to drink? You got water?
I've got
Okay,
water.
you need another one? You got enough?
I'm fine.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get some to drink and we'll be starting.
Save that one picture?
I think so. You can get it, and I can do it again quick, but or unless you want to do it on yours, since you
Well,
have
we can,
yours.
because I can't reach. I can't reach. I got. I'm gonna be
Okay, here.
alarms.
My fingers were slipping so bad. Oh, we're so cute. I don't like that picture. It's taken up. Oh.
My bangs.
Did you turn yours on silent?
Yeah.
Okay, girls. Brad's the brains behind the organization. I'm the eye candy. Kim is going to text me if anybody needs to be louder or anything like that. Brad, you have your phone ready to call in for the call-ins? These girls said they have friends that are going to call in. 212.
I don't know how ornery they're gonna be though.
Yeah.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll warn them not to use too much profanity.
I'm just curious if my son calls.
Oh my gosh. If Jacob.
How old is he?
Almost 13.
Okay. We get kids calling. It's not unusual. It's 9 o'clock. Remember, play Michelle's intro. That's my cue. I wrote this intro, by the way, this music.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Brad. In my ear.
And now, live from the Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana, where the walls really do talk, introducing your host, Rich Ballard.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Whispers Estate. Here we're doing our June podcast. We'd hoped to put this out a couple weeks earlier. Brad and I made a commitment back in April to do one a month, but we didn't do one in May. So here we go again, promising you try to do at least one a month. Life happens. We all get so busy, and it just takes a lot of the stars aligning up properly for us to get down here and do one. Very happy tonight to be in the basement of the Whispers Estate. We have tried to do a podcast from pretty much each room in the house. We were going to do one in the attic, in the red room. A little warm up there tonight, even though we got a brand new air conditioning unit up there. Still, the heat setting back in the attic has been, just a little too warm to do it up there today. So we hadn't done one in the basement. We're extremely excited to be down here in the basement. One of my favorite parts of the house, indeed. Many people do not see it the same way, but I'm one of those people that always love to come to the basement. Once again, if you don't know anything about Whispers Estate, we are located in Mitchell, Indiana. You can come visit us. We offer all-night private group investigations. The best way to reserve a night to come visit us is going to our website. It's really easy. It's www. And all in one word, it's whispersestate.com. Once you get there, if you're on your phone, you'll see those little hamburger lines at the top left. You just drag down, and you'll see the menu where it says book a reservation. And if you're on a laptop or a desktop computer, it's right there on the homepage where it says make a reservation. You just simply touch it. Go to two different calendars, a Sunday through Thursday calendar if you want to come during the week, and then the weekend calendar, Friday and Saturday. So you just click on the appropriate calendar. If the date is listed in green, that means it's available. You click on it, put in your information, and you will have the night to yourself from 8 o'clock at night till 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you've never been to the house, we'd love to have you. We get excited about having new people come to the house. It's always a blast. And then we have so many people, so many good friends and people that we become friends with that just keep coming back to the house repeatedly. And certainly we really appreciate those people and their support of the house as they continue to come back here and try to experience the paranormal, if you will. Tonight we're real excited. I got two young ladies here with me. And I met these girls back in March. They visited the house and had what they both concur was a very interesting night. Right here to my immediate right, I have Erica Pruitt. Am I right with that name? And then I have Thessaly, right? Thessaly, yep. I'm sorry, Taylor. And she's got that nice Greco-Roman name. Fascinating name. And these girls were kind enough to drive down. They just live a little bit north of us here, and they were kind enough to drive down and do a live podcast with us. And I think my right-hand man here, my buddy, Brad Martin. Brad, do you have the call-in phone number? Is it on the website? Do you have that up for everybody?
Ready for it now?
Well, I think the earlier we put it up, the better, but it's up to you. We are going to open up the phones here in about 20, 25 minutes. And if you want to call in live and ask the guest a question, ask Brad a question, ask me a question, that'd be awesome. We love to have people call in. We only have a couple rules for people who do call in. Number one, no profanity, no bad words, even though all of us sitting here are adults. There are people, I have students that listen to these podcasts and even younger people that listen to them. And, just out of respect for parents and everyone, we would ask that you didn't use any profanity when you call in. And then the second rule is just a very simple rule that we'd ask that you would, give our guests their due respect and treat them respectful. And of course, Brad and myself, we're here, basically in a sense just to talk about the paranormal and bring people in who have their own experiences to share with us. So it's always really exciting to bring new people in, if you will. So we'll put that number up here on our website. I think it'll be on the home page. And here in 20, 25 minutes, we'll open up the phones. All you have to do is call in. And, we look forward to having you people call in. It's always interesting to have people from wherever you are to call in and, interact with us here. So I'm going to start here first with Erica, since she's right to my right here. Erica, I think I told you and Thessaly both the same thing earlier, that I really only ask you about 3 or 4 questions, and they're pretty uniform in nature. But, at the same time, I think these are the type of questions when people listen to these types of things that they probably want to know about you. So, Erica, in your case, the first question I'd like to ask, and then Thessaly will let you respond to that. How did you get interested in the paranormal? What brought you to this hobby, if you will? In some people's case, it's more of a passion. It's a way of life. How did you get involved with the paranormal?
Well, I guess I've just kind of always been into it because when I was around 5, my brother and I saw what was basically the spirit of my come to find out she was my great grandma, I think. And ever since I saw her when I was a little kid, I just kind of have been into it, just going to cemeteries and...
Okay, well, I find that fascinating. So you actually, what kind of brought you up to, or should I say, evolved you and brought you to the paranormal, was the fact that you actually saw a spirit itself. You actually saw an apparition.
When I was a kid, yeah.
Okay,
my brother saw it too. I don't know if he remembers, but...
Okay, so I always am so fascinated by people who tell me that they have seen spirits, because, I've been doing this now, this June, I was looking, I've been doing this now for 12 years. It's hard to believe I've been doing it this long. And I have been to dozens of locations. I've been here to the Whispers Estate probably well over 600 times. And I personally have never been fortunate enough to actually see what I would call an apparition or a spirit. So I'm still crossing my fingers. I was with a group a few months ago. We were sitting in the parlor, and we all saw something out of the corner of our eye, which did look like, well, I can't explain it any better. It looked like a child in a dress. And a lot of people have seen the little girl in the house, but I can't swear that's what I saw. But there was definitely something there. So I'm always interested when people have actually seen one. That's so exciting. And on a personal level, I'm jealous, envious, and I look forward to that day when I can actually see one. Okay, so to my far right here, Thessaly, and we're just going to call you T. So that's what people call you, is T.
Totally
okay,
fine.
So T, how did you get drawn to the paranormal? What brought you into this field?
So kind of like her situation, I was outside on the swing singing one day, and my papaw popped up out of nowhere in the woods, but at the time I did not know it was him because he passed away before I was born.
Same thing with my,
Yeah.
obviously with my great-great-grandma.
So, like,
yeah,
I did not know who this man was, but he stopped and he was like, I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and I hope you're okay, and that, your voice is beautiful. And I was just like, who are you? And, I remember telling my mom about that. She was like, oh, that sounds like your grandpa. There's no way, though.
Yeah, that's how I found out, too.
You described him physically? Is that how Mom said, hey, that was probably Grandpa,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that is just all. And you actually had a vocal interaction with him as well.
Yeah.
See, I am so amazed and jealous of people who can sit up and say that, because
I didn't have a vocal reaction, but I did see what my grandma was wearing, and she was wearing a blue dress, and I told my mom that, like, later on. I told her what we had seen, and that it was a lady in a blue dress, and she was like, oh, well, my grandma, her grandma was buried in a blue dress that she had sewn for her.
well,
So-
that just explains everything, why that would naturally draw you to this field here, where okay, I've already experienced as a young person, and now as an adult, I'm going to go pursue it to gather further knowledge and the like.
Yeah.
I will
100%.
say I am a little bit of a skeptic when it comes to, like, what other people say they have seen. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes. Like,
On a personal level, I recommend, I teach parapsychology classes, and I recommend to my students that you remain a skeptic if you can. You don't want to be a cynic with the closed mind, because that means,
right.
a cynic, science can't advance with cynicism. But a skeptic is someone who goes, okay, maybe that's true, maybe it's real, but I just need some proof here. And I
Yeah.
think that's a much healthier perspective to approach this from. I know I am a huge skeptic about so many things that do occur in this house and what I've experienced with other people. But, on my end, I've just seen so many things that I can't outright explain or debunk, that I have to just sit back and say, okay, all right, that's something paranormal. I have no other way to explain it, if you will. Okay, that's just awesome. So, Erica, back to you. I think the first thing I asked was, your what brought you here to this. How did you personally hear about the Whispers Estate? And would you be willing to go into a little bit of detail? Because I think you visited the house for the first time back in March, right?
Oh, no. I visited the house the very first time. It was like flashlight tours. My aunt actually introduced me to the place with the previous owners.
Okay, so you actually visited a
And-
place that did a flashlight tour.
Yes.
Okay.
And I did that a couple times. And then whenever I stayed this last time, that was what did I end up?
I think 3.
That was my third time staying.
Okay, and it was your your first all-night private investigation, was it?
No, it was my third
Oh,
all-night
okay.
private investigation. I had just done 2 flashlight
Okay,
tours before that.
My apologies. So here at the house itself, then, I talked briefly with a few girls, and I think we interacted over, Messenger or through our texting. What happened that night? Because both of you said you had pretty profound experiences. Does anything stick out that night that you're going, okay, this is excellent. I'm so glad we came tonight. I mean,
Oh, definitely. I think one of the first things that happened was my cousin Lindsay was here with us, and me and her were standing at the bottom of the stairs, and we just heard what I can only tell you and describe as like a mouth noise. Like somebody was like swallowing kind of hard, or like, just some kind of like smacking their lips maybe, or
Yeah, it was
something.
super weird.
It was honestly, and my husband was like, "Don't say that word on live," but the only way it was a squelching.
squelching.
It was a squelching noise, and
Yeah.
I was like, it kind of grossed me out a little bit. I was like, "What is that?" But it was definitely coming from the top of the stairs,
top of the stairs going towards the attic or to the second floor?
the second floor.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
heard that on the first floor going towards the second
Yeah.
floor. Okay.
And then it was, I believe, after that, and it might have been like some time after that, but I was also taking a video of me. We were going up the stairs, and I was taking the video, and I went to that first bedroom, and I didn't notice at the time, but if you go back and look at the video, there were some orbs in it. But then the biggest thing that I caught was, and it was just such a like huge moment for me, because like, how like if you're recording something on your phone on the video, sometimes you're looking at what you're looking at through your camera. You're not like
Right.
looking at it in real.
Exactly.
Well, I was, filming, and I looked like actually like past my camera, and I saw the orb that I have the video of. I saw it come out with my own eyes, like saw it come out from underneath the bed, and like if I would have went like that, I could have touched it. It was so close to me, and it just like kind of went off to the side. Oh, sorry. It kind of went off to the side, and
So was that on the second floor? Was that in Jesse's room or Rachel's room? You said
That was in
bed.
Jesse's room.
Jesse's room. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So there are always some interesting experiences from.
Yeah,
each
and I mean,
person
I
that-
checked, like, I checked to see if it had, what it could be, and there was nothing.
Well, it's the same thing as
You
the
know.
door, though. I mean, we'd shut it, and we would make sure that it was shut completely.
Yeah.
And then we'd turn around, and you'd see it opening real slowly, and then we'd go shut it again. You're not shutting it. Like, it's going to open again multiple
Yeah.
times.
So you're talking about Gary's closet, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that is that closet will sometimes go weeks and not open, and then there will be a certain group come,
Yeah.
and it will open 6, 7, 8, 9 times for a particular group, which I just have no explanation for that.
Yeah, there's been times when I've been here and it hasn't opened at all.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's just another one of those, no matter, I tell people, it seems like the more I do this, the more questions I have and the less answers I can offer. Now, T, on your end, T Taylor, right?
Yep.
I just got that. Okay. Now, how did you hear about the Whispers Estate from the first time from Erica?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so, and your first visit was back in March.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have anything that, besides what Erica shared with you, do you have anything that just sticks out that, on the way home you're going, oh my goodness, this was just...
The doorbell still sticks with me. We were up in the room with that dresser that I was drawn to when I first walked
the
in.
third floor, yeah.
And after we started to investigate there, we were probably in there for 20 to 30 minutes. And it was like, you need to get out, you need to leave. And I was like, but I don't want to, though. It's like, we're here to talk to you, can you talk to us for a little bit? And next thing you know, the doorbell just went off. And it was so loud, it was right directly by our ears. And I was floored. I was like, well, who is here? And Erica went down to the door, but there was absolutely nobody in sight.
So the doorbell itself was ringing.
Yeah.
Now, that's kind of unique. I don't normally hear that story from
Looking
people.
back, it was so neat. In the moment, you're really caught off guard because you're just like, well, maybe
Just like,
someone's at the
whatever.
door. But,
Yeah.
there was nobody around.
Did somebody order food and didn't tell the rest of us? Like, what's going on here?
Did you use the famous Papa John's pizza deal that we have with people, right? Well, then I'll kind of piggyback onto that question, which I told you girls I would do. You've came to the Whispers Estate. You've had very interesting experiences. Erica, do you have any other locations that you visited that really stick out? That ones that come to mind when you think about, wow, that was just so interesting. I just can't wait to go back. Do you have at least one or two places that you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, I know I have at least one. I probably have two. But what comes to mind at the top of my head, me and Thesney go to cemeteries.
Right.
And what was
Connerly switch.
Okay, yeah, because there was something happened at Bridgewater too, and I'm
okay.
trying to find that in my brain what happened at Bridgewater, but at Connerly.
Okay, but I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Can you explain to everyone where that is, where that's located, in case people want to go, hey, let's go check
So that's
that
here
out.
in Mitchell.
Okay.
Okay, so it's in Mitchell.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's called Connerly.
Yep. It's way past the fairgrounds.
Okay.
I don't really know how to explain how to get there other than when you take the side road to get there, it feels like you're going to drop off a mountain.
Okay, so it's not the main cemetery where
No.
Dr. Gibbons and Jesse and the children.
No, this is an older
No, this
cemetery.
is
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
And
Well-
we go to so many, so whenever
Right.
you ask me that, I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, so when you went to Connerly, I interrupted you, and I don't.
No,
mean
no,
to do
you're
that.
okay.
Can you go ahead and explain that to us?
Yeah, so at Connerly, we're just there. It's nighttime. I've got a flashlight, and we're looking around and stuff. And I don't think a whole lot had happened up to this point, but I was just walking towards this one specific grave, and as I did, just a pair of little boys' legs came out from the tree line, and I mean, he ran so fast, but he went right over. I mean, it seemed like he was so close to me, he almost went right over the top of my shoes almost. And he was just gone in a second. I mean, it was so quick, and I feel like I scared him. I feel like I walked up
Yeah,
on him,
because he
I
was
scared him,
watching
and he
through.
ran off. He took off so quick.
He was watching through the trees
And-
the rest of the night.
Yeah, and like I could see but it was just from his waist down. All I could see was his pants and his little shoes.
So an actual, or at least half-bodied
Yeah.
apparition, you saw that.
Yeah.
That's a place I'm going to have to visit soon. and I'm going to have to find that.
And I
definitely-
tried to like recreate it with I was like, well, maybe I was holding my flashlight funny. Like, what if I do
Oh,
this?
sure.
You know what I mean?
You
Because
tried
I'm
to
always
debunk
trying
it.
to, yeah. And it didn't. That's just not. That's not what I saw. You know, that's not what I saw. It wasn't the flashlight. I know that for sure.
Now, do you
So-
take, other than maybe your phones, do you take any type of particular equipment to these graveyards? Do you take any type of recorder? You're just using cell
We
phones
just use-
and
yeah.
flashlights?
Well, we have the cat balls
Well,
now.
yeah,
we're
we do
starting
have-
to get
yeah.
more equipment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because we are starting to have more time to do it now,
Right,
and
right.
I think last year was all about really diving deep into it and learning it, and getting familiar with the things that
Right.
you encounter. Because like I have a lot of experience in seeing passed over people, but it's still different when you go into places because you don't know what energy has been
Right,
left,
and it isn't
or
like we do like a whole lot of research on like what happened at these cemeteries or these places before we go in. I
You
mean,
kinda
we do.
go- you
We
kinda
have like
go
a
in-
we have like a basic idea of some of these
Yeah,
places,
we-
but we don't like
You go in dry.
pretty much for the most part. I mean, we dip our toes a little bit. But
Well, and as far as equipment, Brad will confirm this. Brad and I have been to so many different locations. We're not really equipment-heavy investigators ourselves. We'll take
Yeah.
our phones, some flashlights, a ghost box.
well, and I've always been of the opinion like if something wants to contact you, it will.
it's
it
gonna
will.
regardless.
It will mess with your phone, your flashlight. It will.
Touch you.
Exactly.
We've had batteries.
It will get your attention if it
Yeah.
wants to. You don't
1,000%.
have to have equipment.
Well, when people come and they're asking me about equipment to the house, I always say my favorite piece of equipment is the REM pod.
Yeah.
And Brad,
Those are neat.
Brad builds those and sells them out of the house at a much cheaper price than you'll get one online.
That's
And that
very
is-
cool.
That is probably my favorite.
I love that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to get
You're the
one.
man. Okay.
Probably my favorite tool is the REM pod.
Yeah.
Because if that thing just starts making noise and no one's within 30 feet of it and it's in a dark hallway or a room or outside in a field even, that's always
Right.
something that's pretty hard to
Yeah.
debunk.
And it's
Yeah.
definitely a faster way to get answers too.
Yes.
In a more accurate way, I feel like, because sometimes those spirit boxes, man, they're hit and miss. Like,
Yeah.
you have so many energies coming through that you're not really sure what conversations that you need to pick up until
Right.
it really starts to pinpoint and go into that rhythm.
Yeah, and my natural skepticism against this isn't against people who really love the ghost apps and stuff on the phone, but I'm just naturally a skeptic. Now I've seen things like necrophonics actually answer questions, and so that's pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, I think just the old-fashioned SB7 that just sweeps the radio waves.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you're doing something like the did you girls do the SS method when you were here last?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have some experiences with it? Okay.
Yeah, we got to talk to John during that.
Oh, Dr. John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. Not many people share that. Now, where did you, can I ask where you did the SS method? What room you did it? Or
We
did you
were-
do it in multiple rooms?
We only did it in one, I think, which was his bedroom.
Yeah, I think so.
In,
Yeah.
his in the,
In the
bedroom.
exam room, or
Examination room.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a bed in there, but we're getting rid of
Yeah.
that. Maybe tonight when we get done, you girls can do an SS method with me. How about that?
Yeah, that would be so much fun. Yeah, I would love that.
So you kind of killed two birds with one stone with one question because you both do all your investigations together, I guess. So
Yeah.
the graveyard seems to be the big one. You said it was called Connerly.
Connerly, yeah.
Okay, so do you guys, like you said, you just kind of dipping your toes in now? Now you're getting more and more acclimated, more and more motivated to go to other locations. Do you have any plans in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the road? Is there anything on your bucket list? Is there any some places you're thinking about visiting?
So we've talked about going to the Hannah House up
Yeah.
in Indy.
The Hannah House
that's
in
our next.
Indianapolis.
That's the next on our list.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research on there, and I think that would just be awesome, especially the train tracks and the hidden passages.
Yeah, the Hannah
through
House.
there.
Yeah, it's one of the more famous locations in Indiana. And Indiana it's such a bizarre thing because there are so many haunted locations in Indiana that are just amazing places that I personally visited that I just shake my head. I don't know what it is about this part of the country, particularly Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois, Iowa. It just seems like
Yeah.
something about the Midwest. It's just, and I know every city, every state.
Well, there
has.
is a lot of Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
No, that's
I mean, I know that's kind of everywhere, but I feel like Indiana's kind of a hot spot for it.
that's very possible. I've had other people say the same thing because of all the tribal burial grounds and
Right.
stuff, and the energy that's naturally associated
Yeah.
with that. So that's
I'm from North Carolina, and where the colonists and stuff were, it's really.
okay. Well, you didn't tell me if you're from North Carolina. We're at North Carolina. I spent a lot of time there as a young man.
I was born in Wilmington
Wilmington, yeah, Wilmington. I've been there many, many times.
on the Cape
And,
Fear.
as a matter of fact, my buddy and my manager of the house, Sandra, I think she's going to North Carolina next week on Monday to visit her brother.
No,
so-
that's
I'm going
she's
in like
going too.
2 days, so
yeah, well, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful state. But
Yes.
I get to the point now where I warned you girls. I tell everyone at the start of the podcast that I don't really want you to use profanity, and here I am backsliding and use a little bit of profanity. But it's a word that, as far as profanity, I'm not sure it's really that bad. I try not to use it in the classroom, but I have been known to use the word. I got this from, as I mentioned, Sandra, the house manager, a little bit earlier. I got this from her several years ago. And what she calls this, and I love this term, she calls it the oh shit moment, okay? So every time someone's on a podcast, I ask them, can you give us at least one good what we call the oh shit moment, that when it happens you're like, oh, what just happened? How is that possible? Oh shit! Oh shit! Brad was just dying to use that. He's just looking at me the whole time. Did he scare you?
I was not prepared for that at all.
Brad, hit that one more time. Hit that one more time. Oh shit! Oh shit! Now Kim Kinser's gonna love that
now
so
I've got
much.
that
She's-
song in my head.
She's got so many little gadgets on her podcast. That's
To
pretty
listen
funny.
to it on the way home.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Erica, since we've been starting with you because you're to my immediate right, do you have one? Do you need to think about it, or do you have at least one good one?
No,
And if
I'm
you
so
have
glad
more
you
than
asked. I
one,
have
if you have more than one, we certainly have time.
So not the last time I stayed here, but the second time I stayed here, I was with my sister, whom you met,
Yes.
and we were with her husband and another friend, and me and the other friend went into the scrying room. And he wanted to leave the door open. He wasn't, he didn't want to, shut the door or
In
anything.
our,
So I was like,
our Oculus room?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, that's fine. So he left the door open, and we had our flashlights in front of our faces, and I told him, how to scry, to use the mirrors, and we were, doing it. We were sitting there and staring, and I don't know, how long we were in there, but I was standing there staring, and like, you can see like things kind of like shadows behind you. But then when I focused my eyes back on what was right in front of me, obviously it was me because it's a mirror, but there was like the figure of an old woman like right in front of me. Like it looked like me but old. Like it was the same height as me. It was very and I just went and my friend just bolted. He just took off, but
So did he see it too?
I don't think so.
Okay, he
just heard me go,
Your
and he was
response-
like, and that was enough for him to be like, I am good. So, and I mean, yeah, it like shocked me, and like you said, it was an oh shit moment. Because I'm still wondering, like, was that old lady me? Or was that, someone else? Like, it was just very, because like I said, it almost did look like what maybe I would look like as an old woman.
Oh my goodness, and
So
you're so
I was
young.
like,
it's hard for me to imagine look at a youngin like you and imagine you being old. But
Well, see, I picture my grandma.
Oh, okay,
And I,
okay.
so I look like grandma. So I
Okay.
was like, okay. But, like I said, it could not have been, that's just what it kind of struck me at first. I was like, was that me as an old woman? Like, that's unusual. Okay.
So we might have to go back up there tonight and let you do that again.
Yeah.
If you go, you will. Okay,
Yeah.
so these girls are fearless, folks. Let me tell you, they do not show much fear. That's which I am pretty notable for being somewhat of a coward at times, but that's okay.
I mean, if I get scared, like, I'm pretty non-reactive to it, but if I do get scared, like, there's usually a pretty good reason.
Okay.
You know, like, usually.
Brad, before I let T share her moment, do you have the phone number up now?
Yep.
Okay, so it's on our homepage. Okay, and Brad, you want to read the phone number to everyone real quickly? So
317-769-9899.
okay, one more time, so people who are trying to
317.
well, people write it down. They're not watching; they're listening.
What's
okay?
up on the screen?
Yeah, but I'm saying some people aren't watching; they're listening. Does that make
Right,
sense?
right,
They're
right.
driving and stuff.
317-769-9899.
Thank you, Brad. And Brad, before we get to T here, I do want to. I would like for you to take the time to share. Brad is really, as an engineering person, he is really honed in on this REM pod, and he's come up with something that's just what I think is revolutionary with that tool itself, and that is the Bluetooth option of it. You want to explain to everyone real quickly what you pretty much are going to be offering people with the new REM pod that you've designed.
Well, it's not out yet, and I'm having there's going to be a little bit of design time on it, but I am planning on adding a Bluetooth feature, so you can leave it in a room and take your phone with you, and if it goes off, it'll go
Love
on
that
your phone.
idea.
That's very good, yes.
convenient. Yeah.
Isn't that's so innovative, and that's Brad in a
Oh, yeah.
nutshell. He's always thinking about how to make something better. So, didn't you say you're hoping that you'll have the prototype and everything ready to go, and you're
By the end of the summer,
yeah,
hopefully.
by the end of summer you will have those
That's
things.
so
So,
exciting.
you can,
Congratulations.
Yes.
Brad, can you tell people how to get those online with your? Do you order them? You have a way for people to order.
I
them
have it on Facebook Marketplace. You can find me on there, or you can email me through the website, through whispersestate@gmail.com. You can email me there. I can get it.
And Brad puts them in professional boxes and adds a battery and ships them. I mean, he takes care of everything. So, and he gets them to you fast. And okay, are we already getting a phone call?
Yep.
Okay, well let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and answer a phone call. Then we'll get back to T. Okay, go ahead, answer that.
If they don't answer, it's not wanting to answer.
Did you get it?
No.
Well, that's disappointing. Let's hope people can call in.
Let's try it again.
I keep telling him to get an iPhone, but he won't listen to me. So, T, while he's messing with that, let's go back to you. Erica shared her moment. Okay, well, they're calling again.
Okay,
Do you have it now, Brad?
I think so.
Okay, hello. Thank you for calling the Whispers Estate. Who are we speaking with? Hello? I can't hear very well, Brad.
Try it again.
Can you say hello again? We're just dialing you in, so be patient with us. We appreciate your patience. Who are we speaking with?
It's not Bluetooth.
Just if you,
Something's
will she will she be disconnected if you Bluetooth?
It won't. It's Bluetooth. I don't know why it's not working. Hang on.
We had it working earlier, folks, and that's the problem about going out live. Anytime you do something, you're going to run into some kind of technical
Okay,
difficulties.
now
with it.
try it.
Are you still on the line with us, ma'am? I don't have anybody, Brad. Did they disconnect?
I think so.
Okay, T, let's go back to you where Brad's messing with that. Your oh shit moment, can you share it with us?
I have a few. I think the first time that I ever had my biggest oh shit moment was probably the first time that I played with a Ouija board.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
always an interesting topic
Don't do it. Don't
for
do it.
many
Yes.
of our listeners and many of our guests of the house. So your experiences with the Ouija board, can you tell us how old you were and where you were doing this at?
I was probably about 12, and it was in my bedroom. And there was just like this very demonic energy that appeared in my closet. And it stayed there for quite some time.
I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Could you sense the energy? Was it trying to interact with you? Was it making noises? Was
Oh,
it
yeah. So, like, when I was younger,
I could sense it. She could see it.
Yeah, I saw it. The best way to describe it was that it looked like a really demonic Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, that's
the best,
terrifying.
That's the best way to put it. No offense, Ozzy. Like, I love you, but that's the best way that I can explain it.
Oh,
It was terrifying.
And were you delving into the Ouija board, breaking all the rules and doing it by yourself?
Yes, I was.
Okay,
So that was my
you've
first.
since learned not to do that?
Yes, I don't touch Ouija boards anymore. I love doing all like communication and divinational things, but that is not one of them. So I think they're too unpractical for me. Like I can't, pinpoint what's gonna happen. So it kind of makes me nervous.
I think you might be the second or third person I've talked to over about the last month, especially people who visited the house when they see the Ouija boards, because we have several of them throughout the house. We don't encourage people to use them, but we don't discourage people to use them. They're mainly for decoration. But if people want to come here and get on the Ouija board, we're fine with that. So on our end, I've never really seen the Ouija board. What I would, and I don't mean to sound like such a skeptic on this, I've never personally seen the Ouija board work where I didn't think someone themselves wasn't manipulating, the stylist or
Right.
that kind of thing. So, but for someone to actually do it by themselves and have that experience, wow, that's just something out of.
It was terrifying.
Yeah,
It was absolutely terrifying.
As a 12, so you girls go back that far together that you've
Yeah.
known each
yeah.
other?
Oh, yeah,
We've known each other for like 25 years.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you grew up together. Okay. Well, that would qualify for one of those moments. I can't even imagine anything that would be any scarier than that, at least
Yeah,
on my end.
I think that absolutely. I mean, I've had a million of experiences. I, have some mediumship gifts, so it's really not out of my realm to experience the dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was my biggest moment. Like, oh my God,
Well,
Now-
because he was bad.
he
Right.
was
So-
very
You
demonic.
know,
How-
and everything that you've dealt with since then has not been that bad.
How was that? Can I ask? How was that resolved?
So I don't really know. I don't go in that basement anymore. My parents very
Okay.
much. I don't go
So
into the closet.
You
so.
think there's a possibility the presence is
I
still there?
will say that I know when I was probably about 23, 24, I went there and I did a little cleansing just because, my kids sleep in there now when they go stay the night.
Okay.
So just to prevent anything that had been lingering, I did a lot of saging and just clearing the energy out
Okay.
by like some rituals and things like that. So.
Right. And your children have never reported anything
No,
unusual?
and they see things all the time because my house is very poppin'. I have a couple portals in there, so I mean they are definitely aware of the, paranormal activity, but they've never once said anything about that. So I think, hope, pray, got it.
That is just a fascinating story. I had no idea you'd experienced that with the Ouija board. So, we're to the point now where we usually at about 40 minutes in, and that's kind of where we are right now. Are we going to get some calls, Brad? Do you think you got a wire? Okay, here we go. One right now. Okay. Hello, thank you for calling the Whispers Estate. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, my name's Haley.
It's Haley?
Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Okay, Haley. So, Haley, I'm assuming you're friends with our two guests?
Yes, best.
I am. That's my wife and my sister up there.
Okay. So, Haley, thank you for calling in. Do you have a question for our guest or a question for Brad or myself? Comments, anything like that? We do appreciate you taking the time to listen tonight and calling in.
I do have a question for your guest.
Okay.
I was wondering, when you first initially got there, before you guys even entered, did you all feel a vibe or sense an aura of, like, any type?
Oh yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, this is only my second time here, but the first time that I came, it was heavy. It was a huge energy shift. But the second time, I think I'm very familiar now with the energy here, so it's not that much of a difference to me now.
Yeah, that's kind of
I'm
how
very
it was with me
comfortable.
too. Like the
Yeah.
very, very first time I was ever here, like I was young, so I was like, this energy, I don't like it, make it go away, so I was like, honestly kind of freaked out. But then I came, after the second time I came, like, it's just like coming into my own home,
Yeah.
basically.
Now, Haley, have you visited the Whispers Estate yet?
I'm so sorry. Say that again.
Have you visited the Whispers Estate yet? Have you been a guest with us yet?
I have not visited in person, but these ladies called me while they were there, and even through the phone, it was a heck of an experience.
Okay, so do you live close by, like the girls here? I think they just said they just live fairly north of us here. Are you close by a Bedfordton yourself?
No, I live in New Mexico.
Oh my goodness, girls! I was going to invite you over tonight to join our investigation, but New Mexico might be a little bit far. Even if you get on a plane, we probably wouldn't be here by the time you got with us.
We can
so.
always video call her. That's what
I
we did the first
appreciate
time.
the invite. If I could be there, I know I'd be there.
Yes.
Do you mind us asking where you're at in New Mexico?
I'm in a small town called Springer. Actually, we have the most haunted mansion in New Mexico in this town.
Okay,
I love that.
You're going to have to send me information because I'm looking for new places to go out west. I will say I love the desert. My brother-in-law and I used to go out there all the time. He'd take me out to Vegas yearly almost, and I just love the desert. A lot of people want to retire in Florida, but given my druthers, New Mexico, Nevada, even Eastern California, I just love the desert. Just to me, it's such a peaceful, soothing place. I just love it, and I'm envious of anyone that lives out there. So I am a little jealous of you living out there, enjoying that beautiful weather. Okay. Do you have any other questions for our girls here? If not, that's okay, but we do certainly appreciate you calling in.
No, just, they know I love them. I'm so proud of them, and I have all the screenshot ladies, so
Hey,
you guys enjoy your night. I'll be
That's
watching.
fantastic. Okay, we love you.
love you. Thank you, Haley.
Haley, thank you for calling in.
Love y'all. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, she sounds like she's a lot of fun.
She is.
We've got to get her to the house, don't we?
She's great, man.
She is amazing. We
So-
were born on the same day, so I
So
think
she's
that's
someone
so
that
neat.
lived in Indiana, grew up, and moved.
Nope. I met her through TikTok, and,
And then-
we have talked.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
and we've talked ever since, and we're inseparable. I absolutely love her. Don't know what life would be like without her.
Well, and then you introduced me to her, and then we introduced Tristan to her, so we're all just
And
kind
she's just
of.
part of. She's just become a big
Yep.
part of our group.
She's part of your group, even though
Yep.
she's a couple thousand miles away,
yeah,
right?
we
Yep.
video call all the
she,
time.
yeah, she sounds like she's a lot of fun. She's
Yes.
definitely got a positive energy about her. You
Oh,
can tell.
very
Okay.
much so. Yes.
So, folks, anyone that wants to call in, I think we've ironed out those problems. So we're going to sit around here and wait. Just I'll keep talking and trying to, give people time to dial in. If you got that number up on your screen, if not, Brad, you want to read it to me just one more time because people are driving in their cars and they
That's
can't.
fine.
Okay.
It's 317-769-9899.
Okay, so we are waiting for other people to call in if that's possible, and if not, we understand that. We're at the 43-minute mark with the podcast. I told the girls before we started, we usually shoot for about a 45-minute to an hour-long podcast. What I have found is that people, after about an hour, that seems to be out the attention span for most people who listen to these types of things. I know when I listen to podcasts, after about 30, 40 minutes, I'm going, okay. Even with very interesting guests like we have with us tonight, I get to the point, go, well, yeah, I'm just about ready to, go somewhere else now and spend my time. Once again, we're here at the Whispers Estate. We're located in Mitchell, Indiana. Our address is 714 West Warren Street. And, we love to have new people visit the house. The best way to reserve a night in the house is go to our website. It's at www.whispersestate.com, and you just click on reservations or book a date. I can't remember the exact terminology there. It will take you to two separate calendars, a Sunday through Thursday calendar and a Friday and Saturday calendar. And if you want to come during the week, you just click on the Sunday and Thursday calendar and or the weekend calendar, Friday and Saturday. If the date is available, it will be in the number of the date. Let's say you want to come July 6th. That 6 would be in green. You just click on it. It's going to ask you for some personal information, and boom, the night is yours. It goes right onto our Google Calendar. We get notifications, and I think you get an email confirmation as well. And then you just need to be at the house, if you can, by 8 p.m. And either Sandra or myself or Kim or my son Garvin, someone will be here. and we'll let you in, sign you in. If you need a tour, we give you a quick tour, and then we kind of turn you loose and give you the house to yourself for 8 hours. So if you want to come visit us, we love to have new guests, and of course all the people. I've owned the house since March of 2020, and I've just met hundreds of amazing people who, are involved with this. And the neat thing, and girls, I think I've shared this with you girls, one of the neat things about doing this is probably 99.9% of the people you meet are just awesome. And they're doing it for the right reasons, and most people are just doing it out of their own curiosity. I call it morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
I know most of my family members think it's kind of morbid.
Yeah,
why
Yeah.
why are you doing that? And your dad would have
Yeah.
never approved
I've
of that.
always had a morbid curiosity. Yeah.
Same.
So I think that's what drives most of us. I know for me, coming from a psychology background, I've always just been fascinated by things that I just can't look at and understand. I want to
Yeah.
find answers, particularly when it comes to human behavior. And this itself is just, it so supersedes just typical, what I would call human behavior, and the fact that so many people have had experiences like you girls. I mean, I've had hundreds of people visit this house that's had similar stories as far as seeing full-bodied apparitions. They've seen ghosts in person, and I don't know, maybe I'm just that one person that the window's shut and I might not ever see one. I've heard things, I've seen things, I've had other people experience things right there when I'm right there with them. But on my own end, I have just never been fortunate enough yet to see one. So maybe since I'm hanging with you girls tonight, maybe we'll get to see something here in the
maybe we'll
house
get
tonight.
lucky.
Okay, great. So we're going to give it about another minute, and if no one calls in, it's not that big of a deal. We've been going for 48 minutes, and that easily meets our time specifications. On my end, girls, I can't express my sincere appreciation for you wanting to take time out of your schedules. Everyone is busy. It's summertime. There's so much going on. For you girls just to, I just contacted you yesterday, and for you just kind of drop everything.
Oh, sir, you say jump.
Yeah,
We'll ask how high.
Yeah, for real.
Anything. I mean,
well,
this
these girls.
we appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, these girls do love the house, and they've made that abundantly clear to me. And there's so many people like them that when they come here, they are here just for the right reasons. And I remember when they came in March, I was so impressed by their true passion and their focus. They, the minute some groups walk in, and you can just sense immediately that one of them probably has some really strong empath stuff going on, some mediumship as you called it, and then the other ones are there. Some of them even have some themselves are not even aware of it, or if they don't have it, they are there to support that person and to gather their own documentation, their own evidence, and the like. Okay, so and we are going to spend some time. Hold on a second, someone just sent me a text. I don't know if that means they can't get through. Brad, the phones are on, right? Okay. Well, Aaliyah, why don't you give me a call? I'd like to talk to Aaliyah. And I know I got Jake, and well, right now on my phone it looks like we have about 40 people that send me text messages. I can't keep up with everyone, but if no one calls in about the next 30 seconds, I think our plan is, Brad, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to get Jake and probably Sharon. I'm thinking we're looking at maybe next week or the week, certainly no later than the week after. We're going to get them in here and maybe do a podcast from Big Black's room, or maybe even the doctor's room. I considered doing the doctor's room tonight. If I'd known you girls had those kind of experiences in there, we might have moved it up there, but the basement is awesome, so it'll be down here.
The basement's nice. I love
All right.
it.
So once again, everyone that did tune in tonight, we certainly appreciate that. I do appreciate these young ladies. They are just so much fun, and their positive energy. They're just great to be around. We will send out notifications when we have Jake and Sharon. Sharon Hithron is going to come back for her third podcast. She's done one by herself, I believe. Or no, she just did one. No, it will be her second one. I take that back. And she's going to come with her good friend Jake, who travels all over the country and chase ghosts. He's got, one of those, what I would say, careers in this, that he literally travels, and that's pretty much all he does. I'm very jealous of that young man. He got started so much younger than I did. So we do appreciate everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next one. And if you want to come visit us, please do so. We love to have new people visit the house. And if you've been here and you want to come back, please do that. We love to have people come back and share their experiences as well. So, Brad, we got our outro music here, buddy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's adventure. For more information, please visit our website at www.whispersestate.com.